Hey guys, welcome back. This is Frenan again. You're watching Halo Halo Mix Vlogs. So it seems we're not heading out yet, and so I decided to make another video. So the last video I uploaded earlier. This is a continuation. So it's still all about mortgage rate and interest rate and inflation, because it affects everyone. It's not only us here in Canada, in the US, in in the developed countries. It's also, most importantly, it affects everyone, especially the ones in the lower income bracket countries. You see what's going on in Sri Lanka, Turkey. Well, Turkey is not a developing country. At least, we can say that uh, they are part of G20, and as such, they have their GDP is high, but still they got affected by this these things that are unfolding right now. You see, there's also countries like Venezuela. What else? There's so many. You can clearly, when you look up the news, it will clearly show the countries that are most distressed. It is because the US dollar is sucking out all the liquidity from these smaller countries. But that's going to be a topic for another video. But what I'm trying to do here is explain to everyone, or at least my humble understanding of what this financial market is all about, especially when you have a mortgage. You see, our debt, you and me, when we took out a loan from the bank, either personal or a housing loan, or for whatever purpose you want to renovate your house, that debt is the bank's asset. So when you take out a loan, they're going to charge you interest rate. That interest rate that they charge you for that the money that the cash that they lent you, that you borrowed, that they lent you, right? uh it's it is commensurate to the risk that they're taking. So if you're a very risky person, your credit score is low, they're going to charge you much higher interest rate. And this interest rate also reflects the how you say that, the devaluation of the currency over the long term. Say it's 5 years, they're gonna have to take that in consideration, because in 5 years, that 100,000 that you borrowed will be less in value compared to what it is now. So like, 2 years ago, if I took out a 100,000 loan with 8% interest, with 8% inflation right now, that would be worth 92,000. The value of it is significantly lower. So when I pay it back to the banks, their 100,000 will not gonna buy the same 100,000 2 years ago compared to what it is right now, because the prices are skyrocketing. You get that, you understand that. I hope you do, because I don't understand it either. But then, it's just my humble understanding of this. All right. So uh so the people who renew their mortgage back in 2020, when it was 1.75, 1.9, they're kind of happy. They're complacent right now, because they've already signed up the documents, signed the documents that they're locked in for the next 5 years. So by 2025, that's the time they're gonna renew, and that's when they're gonna worry about it in the so that will be in the next 3 years. So they happy go lucky, they're gonna spend everything. They'll not worry about it until probably 2 years from now. But As the article of my previous video said, that by that time, we don't know, we never really know what's gonna happen, in 5 years from now, in 2 to 3 years from now, let alone the next day, tomorrow. You never know what's gonna happen to you. If your garage door might not open, and you won't be able to go to work. Just like what happened to our garage door, it won't open because the torsion spring snapped, and so uh, my vehicle is stuck inside the is stuck inside the garage. And luckily we still have two vehicles outside. But anyway, that is totally irrelevant to this video. So what I'm trying to say is that your debt, my debt, the credit card debt that we have, are the bank's asset, and as such, it is on their, it is on their ledger, or right, whatever. It's their asset. So when things turn sour or head down south, when things when the shit hits the fan, when everything implodes, because we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow and the next day, right? We don't know if another war would erupt in some place. We all know that there's a war in Ukraine and Russia. We all know. I don't know if you're aware that there's a war, where whatever, there is a war, and it's not going to end anytime soon. If you're thinking that it will end tomorrow or next week, well, good luck with that. So, Russia and Ukraine have been in war technically since 2014. So what makes you think that this will end in the next couple of months? So it's gonna drag on, and this has an negative effect on the economic condition that we're facing right now. So, well, go back to that the topic. So when shit hits the fan, or when things took a turn to the worst, the banks don't have any liquidity, because the central bank, Bank of Canada, is going to tighten its grip on quantitative tightening. It's a term that they use. When they say quantitative easing, it is essentially, from what my humble understanding of this financial market, when they say quantitative easing, is that they're going to create digits into their computer and drop in some digits into the banks, the commercial bank's account with the central bank. So what they're trying to do now with quantitative tightening is, wait, quantitative easing is that, they're making digits into the commercial bank's account. In return, the commercial bank will give the mortgage-backed securities or bonds that they hold in return for these digits, so that the banks can have liquidity, they won't go under. So what they're trying to do now with quantitative tightening is they're gonna stop these magic digits. They're gonna make it disappear, and all these bonds, they're gonna sell it back to the market, right? Because they're gonna shrink their balance sheet, because they're not supposed to do that, but for whatever reason, because of whatever. So what happens is, when the banks find itself in a very precarious situation where they don't have liquidity, when there's say there's a bank run, they don't have the money, they don't have the cash in their vaults. So what they have are the assets. Their assets are your loan, my loan, credit card debts, uh, stock certificates that they own this much stocks in the, they're gonna sell it. These people who think that they have a 1.75% interest rate in their mortgage rate in their house will soon find that when these banks or any financial institutions, you know it's a very complicated thing, because it took me like years and years to understand this. So this financial institution, they engage in whatever, just to make money. They have derivatives, they bet on whatever they can make money off, commodities, wheat, sugar, things that they can easily sell. So what happens is, if they face a liquidity crunch, they're gonna sell your debt, my debt, to anyone who's gonna take it, or to so if there's a mortgage swap there, if they lose their bet, then they'll have to give their the bonds, their debt, the debt, the bonds are the debts. Yung utang mo, utang ko, ibibigay nila yan, iba na ipambabayad nila to other companies or to other financial institutions, so that quits na sila, right? And then you have 1.75%, which the other financial institution, your new masters, our new masters, they're not gonna make money for 1.75, because the interest rate now is already almost the same as the mortgage rate, 1.75, right? And in Canada here, the federal funds rate is 1.5% already. So what will happen? Your new masters, they're gonna change the terms of the contract. They can do that, or they can, and they will, because it doesn't make sense holding your mortgage, for 1.75%, when I can lend it out to another person for 4.5%. So they're gonna change it, and there's nothing you and me can do about it, because that's our new masters, right? And cash is king. If you have the money, you're gonna pay it off. But since you don't have money, you don't have cash, well, you just have to agree to the new terms and conditions, because otherwise they're gonna liquidate you. All right. So you get the idea here. So and also this is really also important, that people really don't understand this, is that when interest rate goes up, mortgage rate goes up, housing prices goes down. So when the house price goes down, when the value of your property goes down, and your mortgage is higher than the value of the property, they will not lend you whatever you owe, but you'll have to pay upfront the difference, because they don't want to lose money. That is one downside risk right now. As mortgage rate goes up, housing price goes down. Why? Because no one wants to buy a new house, wants to buy, wants to take out a new loan, because right, because the interest rate is going up. We can't afford it. But if you're gonna renew your mortgage, and the value of the house is already down compared to what it was 2 years ago, and your mortgage, yung utang mo sa bahay mo is mas malaki dun sa value ng bahay mo, right? You'll have to pay upfront. Otherwise, they're gonna liquidate you, and you'll end up on the streets. So I hope other people understand that it's not only happen, it will not happen only here, it will happen around the globe. I don't know if it will happen in the Philippines. Well, there are so many houses there, especially in the subdivision where we previously lived in Laguna, where there's so many foreclosed unit, and pinabayaan na nila, and because they don't have money to pay for it, and so it's up to you. You have to really think of what's your next move, because in the near term, maybe remember in 2008 they call it the GFC, great the greatest financial crisis. Oh, what GFC? No, yeah, the GFC, the 2008. I'm sorry about that. And the 2008 GFC, when Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns went under. Those are two investment banks, two biggest investment banks in Wall Street in New York. It those are banks. Never before a bank fails because they lend out money. But this time it went down, and it was waylaid by the government because there's so many companies are also in risk. So they let these two down. They let these two go under, and with it, 8 million lost their jobs in the U.S. They were unemployed. 8 million. That's only in the U.S. And then 2 million people were rendered homeless. And so this is not to strike fear to anyone, but financial sector really plays a big role in our lives. Well, that's the reason why you know we went to school from grade 1 to college, to high school, to college, and then to university. Well, most people, I don't want to be philosophical here, but most people will say, "Oh, money is not everything." Then why did you go in a good community college? You know, you went through elementary, high school, and then college, and then university. Why go through all that pain, all that years when money is nothing? It's not everything, right? So you better think of it, and I'm not trying to strike fear from for all of these the things that I'm sharing with you, but it's time to wake up and see for yourself. Um, because we're in the greatest wealth transfer of our generation, and I hope we're not on the side where the wealth is gonna get out from us and then move to another group of people. So I hope we'll benefit from this wealth transfer in a positive way, not in a negative way. So be safe. I'll see you again next time, and have a great weekend. Bye bye.